Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf.
And I am CD Spivey.
And welcome to Censored Freedom. Glad to have everybody here with us today. Glad to have you here with us, Bubba. How you doing?
Yeah, I took Sunday off because of the pain. I'm doing all right now.
Good.
Don't quite feel like the big-titted girl at the beach, but I'm getting there.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about, especially a big-titted girl that has no common sense whatsoever. Audio technician, could you turn my mic up just a hair? That would be great.
You're all the way up.
Am I really? Wow, I can barely hear me. Anyway, Kamala Harris, as we know, is for some damn reason the Democrat candidate, right? Which, I mean, I didn't think they were going to go with that. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, with everything they were pushing about her, I didn't really have much of a doubt that she was going to be the presumptive nominee. It does blow my mind that they went with her because she is weak.
Oh, incredibly weak.
And they've already
unless
destroyed,
you look at the polls.
They've already destroyed Tampon Tim. Oh, yeah. If you trust polls right now, you've got sucker tattooed on your freaking forehead.
Got to. Dude, it blew my mind when she went from least popular ever to absolutely like the savior of God. What in the hell? That don't happen overnight.
Now, what blew me away, and we were talking about this before the show started, is RFK drops out and supports Trump. There was no Trump bump after that, which tells me the polls are bullshit.
Rigged all to hell. And think about this. Who are they polling, right? If I call a bunch of Democrats from a think tank and ask them what they think, I'm going to get a certain value of data.
Yeah. One of the jokes running around the lamestream media is that they're polling people that are not at work, so they're polling all the Democrats.
That tracks. That 100% tracks.
So it's going to be more Democrats than anybody else because everybody else is at work.
Right. Well, maybe they're being paid not to work.
Well, the whole 9 to 5 thing, everybody's at work, and that's when these assholes are calling people is during the day. It's like, look, I'm busy. I can't deal with you right now.
Right.
And therefore your voice isn't heard through the polls because you're too busy feeding your family. And I've made this point before that a lot of the reason why a lot of times they call them the silent majority is they're too busy feeding their family to be out there marching and waving flags.
Yep.
And they're not about that, man.
Nope.
They've got other things on their plate. They actually have to be productive members of society, not like these Democrats that.
Well, again,
that's their MO. That's what they're paid to do, is to march.
Look at what happened in July.
Mm-hmm.
For instance,
Yeah.
if we were that side, there wouldn't be a city left in Pennsylvania. If we were like them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Everything would be burnt to the ground if we were like them.
Yeah. If that were flipped and Kamala or the kitty sniffer had been grazed by a bullet.
Right.
Yeah, they'd have burned cities to the ground.
To the ground. And the whole mainstream media would have backed them 100%.
They would have just set an Advanced Auto Parts on fire in an Arby's. I mean, it's what they do.
And a police station.
Yeah, a police station.
But Kamala Harris has got a new slogan, strength through joy, ladies and gentlemen. And that sounds great. However, it was pointed out to me recently.
It's funny how a socialist has to push happiness to avoid the reality of their policies.
Yeah, I've not heard a single policy she's had yet, by the way. Not one. I mean, I heard her copy Trump stuff and lie, but I've not heard her actually come out with one of her own policies.
Well, none of her policies are her own. a lot of what she's talking about is Bernie Sanders shit.
You ain't wrong.
And Bernie Sanders is actually now starting to become part of the limelight again, which is, I'm sorry, but that guy needs to be screaming his Marxist ideology at random trash cans in Central Park in New York, not in our freaking government.
I was going to say in an old folks' home, but that works. Trash cans in New York works. I'll take that. But Strength Through Joy, that didn't come from Bernie. As a matter of fact, you told me to look this up. Where did Strength Through Joy come from?
The Nazi Party in the 1930s.
I'm sorry, what?
The Nazi Party in the 19th. Oh, wait a minute. They're calling us the Nazi fascists and all that stuff, right?
Right, because
but they're adopting Nazi slogans.
So you're right. It did originate circa 1930s, and the idea here is one of those really deceptive concepts, as our government is known to do quite a bit.
Yeah. They're pushing happiness to shield misery.
Not only that, it's what they've done. Strength Through Joy in Nazi Germany was they would structure events and organize different events, social events, sporting events, cruises, things like that. And the idea was to prevent dissidents and anti-state behavior.
A Lizzo concert during one of their rallies.
Right. As we see them trying to pull with the numbers on Kamala rallies. That's the only reason people are coming. Sorry, I got a little confused with the words there. Words are hard. Are to hear these stars that they kept pretending Beyonce was going to be the DNC, didn't they?
Oh, that was hilarious. These people were pissed when they found out that their special guest was actually Kamala.
Right. When you got to lie that much for people to be excited and then they're that let down when she comes on stage, like that screams a lot. But this is to stop people from having time to do what you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
To speak out against the state, to speak out against things that we don't agree with, to speak out against their narratives, right? They want to make sure that you and I are on a cruise or at a sporting event or having joyous times somewhere with the crowd of people where we can't talk about it.
Never mind that you can't, that you're on a bread line and you can't afford groceries. You can't afford to put gas in your car. You can't afford to do anything because your wages have basically been stagnant over the last year and 3 years, 2 years, and no one's getting raises.
Nope.
You know, the CPI is basically garbage.
Everyone makes the same amount, period.
Well, that's coming. That's coming. But basically what's happening right now.
Okay, that's fair.
What's happening right now is the inflationary measures that are being taken to basically shield themselves from the nightmare that's on its way because of the fact of their economic policies.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say something else right now. If you are voting for your sexual orientation, for your color of your skin, any of that bullshit, any of this DEI stuff, you are a moron because you're killing yourself.
Yes.
All of politics is economic.
Yes.
All of it. If you are not voting for your economic well-being in the ballot box and you're voting for the color of your skin or because you don't like the other guy's tweets,
right,
or because his skin is orange, fuck you. You're a dipshit.
And you need to be informed. Like, you brought up a lot of good things. MSNBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News even. That's not being informed.
No.
That's listening to propaganda. If any of these stations, even with stuff we say, if you don't believe it, or even if you do, research it. Validate it. Prove us wrong.
Was it Jefferson that said that if you read the papers, you're misinformed, and if you don't, you're uninformed? Was that Jefferson who said that?
I don't know, but I've heard Morgan Freeman say it.
Jackson?
I don't know who originally said it, but I've heard Morgan Freeman say it.
One of our forefathers said that shit, and I truly believe it. I mean, if you are watching mainstream news and that's where you're getting your information, no wonder you're on Twitter spouting leftist ideologies, because
Right.
you're a moron.
I take that back. It wasn't Morgan or Denzel Washington. I heard.
Yeah.
say.
Oh, yeah.
Denzel in that famous
Denzel.
clip. Yeah.
Yeah. Denzel said that. He's right. If you're watching or reading the mainstream media, the legacy corporate media,
You're misinformed.
you are being lied to.
110%. And anything they say, validate it or prove it wrong. But do your research. Now, if you do your research and you still believe whichever way you believe, at least you know what you're doing and what you're voting for. Right?
Yeah.
Whether I agree with what you do or not isn't the point. Whether your buddy down the street or your mother or anyone else agrees isn't the point. You got to stand on what you research and what you believe. Right?
Yeah, definitely. And start voting for your economic freedom, and start voting for your economic well-being and the well-being of your children and their future. Because if you're not doing that, you are doing nothing but creating a disservice for this country.
Right.
And its collapse and downfall.
And to your point, people voted their feelings in 2020. We've had the worst 4 years in this country that I've ever lived through. I don't know about you.
81 million votes.
81 million ballots.
Ballots, yeah, that's yeah. I had to correct the cackling Kamala on Twitter here. You know that the kitty sniffer got more votes. I say not more votes, more ballots.
More ballots, yes. More fake ballots. That is what they got. But speaking of celebrities and the DNC, there was you also mentioned RFK joining Trump, which was huge this week, dropped his campaign and joined Trump.
Yeah, I've got a couple of neighbors with RFK signs out in their front yard. And I'm like, every time I drive by their houses, I'm like, sorry.
Well, he's even offered him a spot in the administration, I believe, already.
Which blows my freaking mind, because the last I checked, this guy is still a gun-grabbing climate hoaxer.
Which goes to show that he can work with anybody.
Yeah, but I don't want to be governed by a gun-grabbing climate hoaxer.
Well, he's not going to be govening. He's just going to be in one of the offices.
Exactly.
He'll be
I don't
helping
wanna
make
be-
decisions, but I
Yeah,
doubt he'll make finals.
Exactly. I don't. He's still a leftist shithead. He's not as much of a leftist shithead, but he's still a leftist shithead.
That's fair.
He's basically, this guy has an axe to grind. Okay, somebody killed his uncle
And his dad.
and his dad, and he's got an axe to grind.
Oh, absolutely.
And that axe to grind is the same enemies that
As
Trump
Trump.
has.
The
But
enemy
I'm
of my
telling you-
enemy is my friend.
No, the enemy of your enemy is not your friend. We should have learned that shit by now. Iraq was not our friend.
That's fair. That's fair.
Russia is not our friend. Germany was not our friend. Japan was not our friend.
I think Russia could be our friend if we only, quit being assholes to them.
No. Russia's still fucked up. And I'm not all about Putin at all. The guy's a freaking... Yeah. Okay, all of the pictures of him riding a bear are fake, but
They
I wouldn't
are?
put it past the fucking guy.
They
okay?
are? That hurts my heart. But, RFK also
He's
does...
ex-KGB. Come on.
He is ex-KGB. RFK also does children's health defense, though. That's one thing I do like, is the whole anti-vax thing that he pushes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that anti-autism, and then not only that, with him helping expose the COVID shots. And all that stuff.
100%.
He's middle. Okay, he's far on our side on some things,
Yes.
but on other things, he's very questionable.
I've never found a Republican that I fully agree with everything
No.
with them.
But he's not a Republican either.
I've never found a Democrat that I agree with, less with Democrats, clearly.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, in a way, I still believe that RFK is a blue dog Democrat, a supply side, capitalism Democrat. The problem with that is is the Democrat Party have left those people, and those people haven't realized it yet.
I was going to say, I'll take a capitalist Democrat over a uniparty Democrat any day.
Okay, but they're too dumb to talk to. You cannot change their mind on anything.
That's fair.
And they still hold that core belief that one side are bad people with ideas. And we believe that they are people with bad ideas.
Right.
And we still believe, there's a lot of people that still believe that we can argue against their ideas and change their mind. And that's not going to happen.
No.
It's so ingrained in their brain.
They are set in their ways.
They are set in their ways, and we are not going to change their mind. And I'm starting to push more and more and more and more and more. I know, hate me for it. I don't care, for a national divorce.
See, I know where you're going with that, and I agree with the logic behind it. I don't think we need I don't think we should divorce half our country. We are the United States for a reason, not the United half states.
But are we united?
For the most part, yeah. Unless you listen to the media.
We are. I mean, if you walk down the street here in Nashville, Tennessee, there are black, brown, yellow, red, blue and white, blue.
White, green, blue. You know, we got some aliens around.
Yeah, tie-dye.
The blue hairs.
We're all commingling
Absolutely.
in downtown on 2nd and Broadway. And for the most part, everybody's partying. Everybody's having a good time.
Completely peaceful.
We're loving each other. We're not out here warring with each other.
You and I just did the walk a couple weeks ago, July 3rd?
Yeah.
The day before they had that
Yeah.
big celebration. It was packed with every kind of person you could think of.
Absolutely. In middle America, that division might be a little ingrained, but it's not there. It's not really there.
If you cut out California and New York, we have no problem.
A lot of the Northeast states, California, Oregon, and Washington.
Okay,
And
I'll give
honestly-
you Washington.
Honestly, a lot of the problems in California, Oregon, and Washington are on the other side of the mountains.
You ain't wrong.
On this side of the mountains, it's all
And it's not all of California.
no.
A lot of California and Washington and Utah want to join Idaho, called Greater Idaho.
Yeah,
Like, that's really a thing. I wish I was making that up. That's
part of
legit
Oregon.
a thing.
Yeah, part of Oregon. Yeah,
Right.
is trying to walk away from Oregon because Portland is Portland? What is it? Eugene. And what other? I guess it's Portland and Eugene
Are the main two
are
worst
a
ones.
freaking mess.
Yes, those are the two worst. Absolutely.
I mean, the I-5 corridor is just completely screwed.
But again, with your concession that it's very small pockets, I don't think that would go for a national divorce. I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, but our federal government right now is so embedded with communism and Marxism that it's going to take.
We should divorce our government.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Because basically they're already telling us right now that our Constitution is it's old, it's outdated, it's just a piece of paper. I read that this week that our government someone in a government official in our government said, "Oh, it's just a damn piece of paper."
Yeah.
What?
A piece of paper that governs what they're not allowed to do.
Say, huh? Okay.
Say,
All right. I'm going to put it to you this way. If our rights in the Constitution are not that important, neither is your authority.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
If you want to disrespect the rights of the American citizen, we should be disrespecting the authority of the federal government.
Well, remember Biden even coming out saying rights aren't absolute.
Well, yeah, when it came to the Second Amendment. Well,
For instance.
yeah, and that was my question is
Or the First Amendment. Free speech isn't all free,
the 16th
remember?
Amendment absolute, you freaking piece of shit.
Right. Well, they even tried to say free speech, right? Certain free speech isn't allowed, so that's not even absolute.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little spicy because I'm in pain.
I think you do a better show that way. Speaking of good shows, apparently during the RFK, when he entered the stage to join Trump, there was a song playing. And Lord help me if we can't make a controversy over every single moment
We can't
of a
play the
day.
song because we'll be sued.
Right. Because, we believe in Trump.
Dave Grohl, you're a fucking asshole. Shut up.
And I liked Dave, too. That's what kills me, man. I actually like Dave. He's a talented dude.
The Nirvana sucked too.
I'm not going to go that far. That's blasphemy to me. I can't go that far.
Nirvana sucked. I hated growing up in that era, being a drummer in that era of
Grunge was it for me, dude.
yeah. No, it sucked. Why do you think I was listening to Megadeth and other bands?
Megadeth was awesome, too.
Dream Theater and stuff like that. I mean, it definitely wasn't.
But the Foo Fighters have gotten pissed off, and the reason we'll never use their work again on this show is because they decided Trump shouldn't be able to use their music.
Yeah.
Now,
the self-important, self-entitled, elitist celebrities, you are not that important.
At all.
I have to say, you are not that important. Yeah, you probably have millions of friggin' dollars of royalty money from selling all these albums to these people. The reason why they bought your album is because they may have liked your music. Great. The problem with this is you turn around and these people are pushing socialism.
right.
They're pushing
Or whatever they're
communism,
told to push.
or whatever they're told to push by the elite,
The elite, yeah.
by the cocktail crowd. All right, because they want to go to the cocktail parties,
And if they
They
want to
wanna be
get
invited,
a job, if they want their
wanna be
manager
invited. Yeah.
to get them
their
a
left-wing
job,
manager,
Right.
yeah, you'll never work in this town again because you're a Republican. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So you've got to say what they want.
Carano, Servisal, all these people drummed out of Hollywood because they
Oh, Caviezel really got it bad.
sorry, dude.
Jim Caviezel, yes.
Yeah.
And that right there is a clear example of selective outrage that these celebrities try. So they're mad. Beyonce, the estate, and I want to be very clear here, the estate of Isaac Hayes has gotten mad of him using that song.
You mean Chef from South Park?
Yes, Chef from South Park, absolutely. Has gotten mad because Isaac Hayes sang the song Hold On, I'm Coming, right?
Yeah.
The song that we all know Trump loves to play.
Get a tissue.
So the estate decided they don't like that. One of these, and it might have been Dave Grohl, I read an article earlier in the week. One of these said, we don't like it, and any proceeds, we're going to claim it again on YouTube, and any proceeds we're going to give to the Democrats. Oh, that's just bullshit, dude. That's just bullshit.
Yeah.
That's asking to never have your records bought again.
Bud Light, Target,
Thank you.
Harley.
Thank you. Do these people not learn? Have they not figured it out yet that people are done? When is the last time you seen a good movie?
I watched
A good movie.
I don't know. I mean, they're making a bunch of dumbass remakes. Twisters was kind of stupid, but it was okay.
The last time I watched a good movie was with you. On Christmas Eve, 2 years ago.
Oh shit.
Top Gun.
The Maverick movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last good movie I can think of that came out. And
Yeah.
what made it so good?
I watched Sound of Freedom last year.
So, okay, Sound of Freedom. There's a good one.
I watched Sound of Freedom last year. It'll tear your guts out. But
what made these movies good is they didn't carry the message that's being
Yeah.
pushed in all of the media right now.
yeah.
People are sick of it. They don't want to hear it. They want to go to a movie and see a movie, see an action show, see a thriller, whatever genre it is.
They want to leave everyday life for a minute
Yes.
because their lives are hard enough. They want excitement. They don't want, this guy goes to work, he comes home, eats dinner, goes to bed, wakes up, eats breakfast, goes to work, comes home, eats dinner.
Every
goes to-
day. Every day.
Dude, I am that guy. I was that guy. I am that
Yes.
guy. You
Absolutely.
leave the house when it's dark, you come home when it's dark.
Absolutely. And you don't, if you get time to go to a movie, you don't want to be preached at about a political agenda. You don't want to be preached at about a social agenda. You're going to escape reality. That's the whole point, is to relax and take your mind off of the bullshit going on around you on the news and the TV and everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand it, but you're pushing you're pushing all of this communism, right?
Right.
Well, at the same time, you're making money off of the disposable income that these people have. If you're pushing communism and socialism and the policies that are creating the financial collapse of this country, but you're making money off of this disposable income,
They're basically getting our scraps.
what they're doing is okay. It might be a short-term gain that they're doing this in, but in the long term, they are cutting their own throats.
Absolutely.
Pushing the whole Pfizer horse shit during COVID.
Which is going to kill your
Exposed
fans.
Exposed a lot of their crap.
Yep.
And tell me, because I've seen some trucking across the United States, I have passed movie theaters that failed during COVID and
Yes.
never came back.
Right.
That is another movie theater that is not generating revenue for you.
Exactly.
And it's you that pushed that bullshit.
The celebrity.
Yeah, the celebrity.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, idiot.
And it goes back to your point of the guy that goes to work every day and
Yeah.
has a couple dollars one day and wants to go out and see a movie and relax and do something he don't normally do.
Well, you
so he
can't do
takes
that with a couple dollars anymore. Heck, popcorn's $10.
Right. I didn't say you got popcorn. I said you seen the movie.
Yeah.
Smart people don't use the concession stand. But
Well, I guess
anyway,
I'm not smart because, damn it, I want my popcorn.
I won't. I refuse to use the concession stand.
Extra freaking butter.
But no, I don't sneak stuff in either. I just go without. But anyway, you go pay a little bit of money, your little scraps you got left over from your check. Okay, it might be $15 for a ticket. Still, the celebrity's going to get maybe $3 of that. They're getting our scraps. I don't need $1 million. I need $1 from 1 million people.
Yeah.
You know. So this disposable income won't be here for them to get. They'll be making state-run propaganda movies, and that's it at that point, because that's the only one that's going to be paying them.
Yeah, and when their acting comes right after the Soviet national anthem, they're going to be getting paid the exact same thing that
As
everybody
you
else.
and me and the guy down the street and the politician. Well, maybe not the politician.
Yeah, so that infinity pool that you want behind your mansion, nah, you're not.
And you
gonna
mentioned it
actually-
earlier. These people are completely controlled. And we know this because of the selective outrage. You mentioned a moment ago, what was the name of that movie?
Sound of Freedom.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom. Great movie. You mentioned that. Where was the outrage? Where was the absolute outrage from celebrities about what's being done to children and what this exposed? I don't know about you, but I didn't hear a fucking cricket.
No.
That's all I heard. Crickets.
Well, there were a lot of people coming out against the movie.
Oh yeah, against the movie, absolutely.
And the movie was about child sex trafficking and how awful
Right.
child sex trafficking is, and it was making people aware of it. And the Democrat Party went nuts,
nuts,
trying to shut this thing. And then they had movie theaters shut down the heat or the
made
air
it
conditioning.
absolutely unbearable for people to stay in and watch it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every little thing they could try to pull to get people not to see this movie. What does that tell you about the celebrities? A lot, in my opinion.
Wonder how many of them were on Epstein's airplane. Right?
Doesn't it, though? Or at Diddy parties. I
Yeah.
bet a lot of them been at Diddy parties. And this is what is used, once again, to control these people. Not just their managers, not just these Hollywood elites that are funding, like the funders of Warner Brothers or the CEOs of these different studios. They're not the only ones. You've got people like, again, Diddy and blackmail, which we know are used against politicians just as well as these celebrities.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I don't understand their thought process. Where are they with this stuff? Why are and here's another one for you. I'm seeing all this clickbait on X, and if you're doing this, you're just stupid.
Let me go ahead and stop the music real quick. We still got a little bit to talk about.
If you're on X doing this thing, and it's really annoying, it's just clickbait, where they're saying this celebrity is going to leave the country if Trump
I'm
is...
so sick of those, dude.
Shut up!
Oh my God!
They never said that. Okay, they didn't say it.
That is the worst spam we've got right now on X, in my opinion.
Clickbait, hoo ha ha, right?
Oh my God. Dude, I am so sick of those.
I actually share this thing on a lot of them where it's the Finding Nemo shark bait, hoo ha ha, right? it's clickbait, hoo ha ha, right? You know, so yeah, I've kind of started calling it out because I'm like, dude, this is annoying. I mean, it's clickbait. That's all it is. You're just farming clicks. It's like, stop it. Send us something good.
And the biggest problem is these celebrities really, really think they have enough influence on people to change the way they vote.
They do. There is a gullible masses out there, and I have been in arguments with them on X the last week or so. Actually, no, past few months, that will argue and argue and argue for socialism and for these just sex offenders.
It makes you wonder who are the bots at this point.
Yeah. And they could. Yeah, I'm called a bot. You know. Yeah. And yeah, if you message, censored freedom, it's me. So.
Yeah, we're bots. Can't you see?
Yeah, we're bots.
We're such bad
here
bots.
We are. I'm here. I'm your bot.
Still the worst dance ever. That's got to be the goofiest. No,
just a white guy, man. I'm trying, man.
I take that back. The chicken dance was a little worse than the robot.
Yeah, don't ever play that. No.
I think the main takeaway from today's show, though, would be don't listen to celebrities. Because, I mean, honest to goodness, are they any different, being that we know they're controlled and are told what to say? Mm-hmm. Are they any different than a web bot?
I got another one here for you. Are they any different than the guy that wakes up at 3 a.m, climbs up into a semi-truck, leaves his family for 5 days on Monday, and then comes home on Friday evening at 6 o'clock? Are they any different than that guy?
No.
Are they better?
No, hell no.
I would say they're not.
I would say so too.
I think your real heroes are the everyday people that aren't in the limelight.
The blue-collar American.
The blue-collar American. The one that sacrifices.
I 100% agree.
Not the one that is the dancing monkey on TV, you know.
Well, then how can you vote for Trump? He's a billionaire. He's not the every guy.
Only because of it. I've said this before. Trump is an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Exactly.
He is still. He's still not a perfect man, and he's far from a perfect man. I don't really like the guy. I'm
on a personal level.
Whatever. Don't listen if you don't like it. I don't like the guy. Am I going to vote for him? Yes. Why? Closed borders.
Yes.
Less taxes.
Yes.
Less regulation.
Yes.
More economic freedom.
Yes.
More constitutional freedom.
Yes. I can tell you, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine at work the other day. I know under Biden, I've got no money. Mm-hmm. I struggle to get groceries. Now, mind you, I clearly have not missed many meals, but like all Americans, I struggle to pay for everything I've got to pay for. Mm-hmm. I make it, but I don't have anything left. Now, I also know under Trump, I had no problem getting a job. I had no problem having money. I had money in my pocket. I could afford groceries. I could afford gas. Mm-hmm. I could afford to live. I could afford to have insurance. I could afford to live in this country and actually have a couple dollars left over to go to a movie or to go out and have fun, right? Unless you make a certain amount now in the teens and upwards of that an hour, you can't afford to live in this country now. That
If
is
you
how
make
I-
$54,000 a year, you can't. You're struggling right now, and you can't afford to live in this country.
and that's how I know I like Trump.
That
better.
is embarrassing.
So I don't like everything Trump says. I don't agree with everything Trump says.
You want to be really honest. You want to talk numbers. Under Trump, because of the way, I mean, I have certifications in the transportation industry. I've got a Department of Homeland Security clearance to go onto ports, to go onto military bases. I can go a lot of places a lot of people can't with my clearances and my qualifications.
Right.
Not only that, with my qualifications, I can drive trucks that other truck drivers can't drive.
Right.
Okay. I was making, because I was doing one of the more dangerous jobs on the interstate, I was making right around $103,000 a year.
Which is a nice
Sounds like a nice
income.
under
That's
Biden.
6 figures.
Under Biden, that went down to $77,000 a year.
That's take home.
That is take home.
Holy cow! That's $30,000 difference.
Our rates for flatbed trucking across America went down 54% under Biden.
So, when you ask yourself at the poll, who am I going to vote for?
Yeah, who am I going to vote for? Go ahead. Tell me who I'm going to vote for. The guy that cut my freaking throat and cut yours every time you walk into the grocery store?
Right.
Because if you don't think
And
he's-
brags about it?
if you don't think he's behind the printing of money, yeah, the Fed is their own deal. Yes. But every time they go, "Hey, we need more," that it doesn't, they don't fire up the printers. You're wrong. He is every time Congress signs something into law that jacks up the money, that they need more money for, our coffers are empty, people.
Been empty for a while. Bidenomics worked beautifully. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Controlled decline of the United States of America. The exact same thing that Obama was doing.
You got
It
it.
was a controlled decline of the United States of America.
Get people used to living a lesser lifestyle until
And
they
matter
have
of
no
fact-
choice.
Obama said it,
Yeah,
that we need to get used to living
exactly.
a lesser lifestyle.
I believe exactly
Only-
word for word.
Only for Trump to come in, and we were living back high on the hog for a while.
We were shown that we'd been lied to and the government can do change. They choose not to, and we've been being lied to for a long time. And thank God he did, because now we know. And we also know not to listen to celebrities, which is going to suck when we become a celebrity. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf.
No. I'm Chris Biden.
And this has been Censored Freedom.
Bless y'all. Take care.
Bye, guys.
We gotta stoke the fires and run off the men in black. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.